What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Into Geek podcast. As always, I am Andrew, joined by Chase.
Hello.
On today's show, we are paying up the second half of our Golden Globe Challenge fiasco. This time, it's going to be all about the Geeks' choice, and that was The Crown from Allison, who has returned, and Chase chose Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw. We are also going to get into a few other things that came out this past week, like the Zack Snyder cut, Falcon Winter Soldier, and some other stuff. But before we can do any of that, is back again for the first time again for the last time. Allison has finally returned. Let me play her hint here. That is the Crown's intro music, and it is so freaking intense.
It is.
Like the first time I heard it, I thought something epic was about to happen on screen because I was like, oh my god, this is some fucking epic music, and it's just like, no, Father, I shan't go, and then it's just credits. I'm like, what just happened? I mean, like somebody has to fight after hearing that.
Chase literally thought, he was like, the people that did the theme song to Game of Thrones,
not the theme song. I'm saying like the way the credits are, the opening credits for The Crown are the same people who did the Game of Thrones credits.
Gotta be.
Gotcha.
So I'm like sitting there.
Game
I'm
of
like,
Thrones,
are you just saying that it is?
No,
or it really
I looked
is?
it up. Yeah, it's the same company.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's insane because they use like the same like close up on
That's
the
all
crown
they got. That's all
and
this
shit.
company has.
Like they did that the same thing. They did the same thing with Robert Baratheon's crown and like
I
the
got
same
an Oscar
epic
nomination
music.
for that. So like I'll get one for here also.
That's awesome.
Before we get into any of our geek stuff, I watched a bunch of stuff this week. I thought we could talk about that. So I went to the old Redbox, and I was like, you know what? I don't read some stuff here or whatever.
People still use Redbox. I've never used a Redbox.
The box of yore. Yeah.
Never used one.
And they had a couple of films that I wanted to see here recently, and that was Bill and Ted Face the Music, which is the third film in that, and then also Fat Man, which stars Mel Gibson as Santa Claus. Let's get into.
Dang, that's already at Redbox.
I mean, like it came out, I think, in like
I thought it came out like
late
January.
December or something. Let's get into Bill and Ted Face the Music first, and this actually wasn't that bad. I thought it might be kind of cringy and crappy, but they got back, I think, the original screenwriter who did the first two movies, and he has a really good ability to, I think, bring out like Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves. Here, Alex Winter's really good in this still. He still plays Bill very, very well.
That's the only thing he can play.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't. What I think he did Lost Boys, he did Bill and Ted, and
he did Freaks.
He did Freaks, and then he got into, I think, like filmmaking actually and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so this is one of the first things that he's actually come back to do and stuff or whatever. But so in this, it's kind of great because it's the pressure of the last 25 years of Bill and Ted having to like think of the world's greatest song that'll bring everybody together, and they're just like,
dude.
Yeah, they're just so demoralized, but now they don't suck at music because now that they've mastered like every instrument, trying to like figure it out. So, but they've gone from playing like amphitheaters to playing like ballrooms and stuff because nobody cares about them anymore or whatever. Now, I will say their daughters, who I don't know the name of the brunette here, but it's Samara Weaving, who was in Ready or Not, which is like an okay horror movie from like I think last year. Keanu Reeves' daughter in this is hysterical because she acts just like him from her head nods to like, oh, all right, yeah. It's like it's such a good job, and it's not done in like a cheesy Hollywood way or whatever.
Is it like, I don't know. I just saw Coming to America too, and like the movie wasn't really as funny, but like the whole movie's just nostalgia for the first Coming to America.
Yeah.
So is it like that where you're enjoying yourself because we're making you remember the better, more superior movie?
They don't really hit any of those beats. I mean, like they go and find death again, but he's like the only character really, and the girls kind of do what they did in the first film a little bit or whatever, and like time travel, while they try to steal the music from themselves in the future, thinking that like at some point they've like written a song or whatever. And so every 5 years they go into the future, they're just like worse versions of themselves. It's pretty good,
worth checking out.
It's not. I think if you like the first two films, you'll also enjoy this.
Good question, Allie.
Everybody enjoyed those.
Excellent question.
I do have to ask: is the character's name Billy? Is that his daughter's name?
I think so.
Okay, her.
He named his daughter
Bill. Yeah,
Billy.
That's adorable.
And then the other girl's name is like Theodore.
Thea. That's so adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, so the actress's name is Brigitte Lundy Payne.
Yes, I've never seen her like anything else, but she's very funny in this. So moving on from Bill and Ted, I watched Fat Man, which is a smaller film that came out, I believe, at the end of last year. And the trailer came out, and everybody was like, "Oh man, fucking Mel Gibson, Santa Claus!" Like I got to see this, and then nobody went and saw it.
Nobody did.
It's also kind of entertaining. But it's one of those movies that I think is more entertaining to talk about the concept and scenes than actually go through and watch all the scenes or whatever. So the idea here is that Mel Gibson, I think, is in like Canada, and the government actually pays him to like make all the toys and stuff, whatever. And so like, he's this real person, but over the years, because kids are fucking shitheads, he's been making less and less toys. And so his contract states a certain amount of toys have to get made for like him to get paid. So because of all the pressure, he's like a drunk and stuff or whatever. And Walter Goggins is just like hitman, and
you got Chase, man.
And this like really evil child, who's like, I don't know if his mom is like is involved with the mom somehow, whatever. Basically, puts out a hit on Santa because he gives him coal, and he's just like, "You're gonna die, fat man." And so and like you just find out that like Walter Goggins hates Santa because he only got like one toy as a child and stuff or whatever, and it's this whole thing or whatever, and it's super uber violent and everything, and it's not a bad watch. But I'll say this: after watching Cats, anything's not a bad watch. So if you ever want to like something, just watch Cats first and then watch something after. Like, oh my god, dude, like Battlefield Earth is really
I think
good.
That's why HBO Max like put out Cats, and they're like, okay, now release the Snyder Cut.
Release the Snyder Cut. Yeah. So then on Netflix, I watched something called The Last Blockbuster, which is kind of funny because Netflix was one of the main nails in the coffin of Blockbuster. This film is all about the rise and fall of Blockbuster in America, and I actually learned like a few things from here. So in the 80s, VHS tapes costed like $100 each.
Yeah, I remember when I think Batman first came out, like 92, whatever. Like like on VHS, for like it was like super expensive.
Super expensive.
Wait, what?
So the thought here by the studios was that that was the only way that they would make money back by putting it on tape. So what happened was all these mom and pop places just bought like 4 or 5 copies and then rented them out, right? And so there was this whole like case of the studios against these places in the courts and stuff, and eventually the courts ruled like in their favor. And so once that happened, like mom and pop places opened up everywhere or whatever. And so one of the main ones on the West Coast was Pacific Video, and eventually Blockbuster, what they did was they did what's called rev sharing, which is they went to the studios and said, hey, if you give us the movies for a lot cheaper, we'll give you a percentage of all of our sales. Mm-hmm. So that they were able to get like 100 copies at $5 each, and then just gave them a percentage. Once that happened, all the mom and pop places started fucking dying because you just go to Blockbuster because they had everything or whatever. So in the 90s, it was bought out, and that they were basically used as a way to stop hemorrhaging. I forget exactly which like company bought them or whatever, but they were cash flow positive, and so they just used their money to like stop they're the company from like bleeding. But then it was like not used correctly and stuff, and then by like 2001, Netflix came to them and said, "Hey, we have this idea, whatever." And the guy got like laughed out of the building, basically. But he offered it to them for like $50 million. He was like, "Here, this is like $50 million. You know, this is our entire platform." And then by 3 years later, they were trying to actually copy Netflix because at that point,
Yeah, I know they tried.
yeah. And then by like 2008, that they had sold most of it or whatever. And then by like 2018, there was like 3 locations left. So this is the last known location. It's in Bend, Oregon.
Does it say why, like, it's still out? Or, like, why is this location the last one?
Bend, Oregon, talks about actually was a super popular place for just like renting movies. Like I don't know if it's like the internet is bad there or whatever, but there was like 15 places there at one point to like rent shit. And so they're just like the last place or whatever. And now, so every other Blockbuster's like movies and like inventory and stuff, whatever, is all there now, and including in 2018, I think it was either John Oliver's show, whatever, bought a bunch of like Hollywood bullshit or whatever on eBay and then sent it to the ones in Alaska. So like it was like the boxing gloves or something from like Cinderella Man and some other bullshit or whatever. And so now all that stuff is here or whatever. But now folks just like travel there because
it's the last Blockbuster.
It's the last Blockbuster, yeah. And like,
so I don't know how Blockbuster. I can't remember how it works. I used to go there all the time. But like, so like if I still had my Blockbuster card, could I go there and be like, would it scan?
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
like, they'd be like, you owe us $250.
They still, yeah, they still use all the same. But POS machines from back then. So it's still like 1990s technology. And she has to actually rebuild all of them with all the older models in the back and stuff because
they can't make anymore.
They can't make anymore or whatever. So if we ever take our trip on the West Coast in a few years, I say, will we go up there, man? Like check it out or whatever. Don't actually buy anything, obviously.
No, man, hold on. We had also Hollywood Video
we
too.
Did, yeah.
And like I used to love, like I would buy so much from there because they would be like 3 DVDs, $15. Now that I know they were buying them for like $5
it would
just spend so much time at Hollywood Video.
It was so nostalgic just hearing about it because like it brought back so many memories. Like I remember going there on certain days really early and trying to get like certain movies and games or whatever and waiting for people to like bring them back. And so you would go there and wait for like a half hour, an hour, whatever, and hope for people to try to drop them off and then hear that noise in the back of the store and then like run up there and be like, hey man, yeah,
check the box. Check the box.
Yeah. Check the box. Check the box. Yeah. And so it was a lot of fun. And I get, things now are so much easier and things are so fucking digital, and all and everything. But
it was still cheaper though, I guess. I mean,
maybe.
It was like $4 to rent something.
Yeah.
Compared to now, I mean, unless it's an old movie, but anything new, it's kind of expensive to rent.
I mean, like
it's $30 for Raya.
Right. It's just
honestly, like nowadays, it's so crazy to me how if you sit and think about it. So I have been out of like high school for longer than
2
I like
years.
to admit. Like I think it's 14 years. But when I graduated high school, like my best friend worked at Hollywood Video, okay?
With like little ties.
And so we literally, like that was the thing that we did. We rented videos. And in that time, we have gone from renting videos. We went through the whole time period where Netflix mailed DVDs to you. And that's not even a thing anymore. Like my daughter will never know that was ever a thing, that Netflix used to mail the DVDs to you and you'd have to like be on the list to get the DVD and like update your queue because you finished this season of The Office, so you've got to move the second season up higher on your queue so you get that one next. Like, do you guys remember that shit?
No, I didn't use that. I'm still bad with technology.
What's crazy is that so also one of the like final nails like their own coffin was they decided to remove late fees. And so their business went down from they lost like 2/3 of their fucking profit revenue because so much of it came from late fees, and also people now didn't have to like bring back their shit. And so if you wanted to go rent something, it's just not fucking there because Bob down the street, has had it for like a month or whatever. So it was just this ever ending of just like bad choices over and over and over again.
Like I wish Blockbuster would have probably adopted like almost the red box things. Like, hey, once it gets $25, you own it now.
Yeah,
and I think it would have worked better for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of things that they
Yeah,
could have
they would-
done.
yeah.
That they could go back and change it or whatever. But it's at some point, they'll just take the movies and put them on our head and be like, oh, yeah, there we go. I'll just watch this again or whatever.
It's like Johnny Mnemonic.
I can kill you from here, man. Moving on to the geekiest of the geeky stuff. Let's talk about The Crown.
Well,
Or
before
not?
we get
No?
into that,
Okay.
Wait.
I was
What's up?
just hoping, since I wasn't here last week,
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right.
I wanted to talk about my thoughts here. So,
Allison's thoughts. With
Allison's
Jack
thoughts
Handy.
on Brockmire and Cats.
yes. So, I feel like obviously we all feel the same about Cats.
It's really good.
Honestly, I feel like we all feel the same about Brockmire too. Like, it's so funny how you could look and see like Cheesy really thought about something that like would appeal to us. It was something that was right up our alley.
Yeah.
And it, like he's doing a podcast, so it kind of like hit really close to home there too. And then Rachel, just was trying to be funny, and I thought that was hilarious too. Like even her husband, like Chase's brother, was just laughing. He's like, that's diabolical, man.
It's pretty.
So,
what did you like about
So
about
currently,
Brockmire?
I'm literally like about to start the 3rd season of Brockmire because I can't stop watching it. It's fantastic. He had put so much thought into that character. I didn't realize that was a character that he had created before the show. Like if it says in the credits, like based on a character made by Hank Azaria. But it's so great how throughout the show I literally forget that he's doing the broadcaster voice, even though he never stops doing it. It's like I forget that he's doing it and it just sounds normal, and then he'll say something particularly cheesy and I'm like, God damn, this fucking voice is hilarious. But I honestly, like, I had low expectations for a baseball broadcaster show that did not sound like anything I would be interested in, and I didn't think the chemistry between Hank Azaria and Amanda Peet would be any good, but I was
good, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I was
She's
wrong. They are incredible together, and just the whole thing is fantastic. I love the way they play off each other, and his producer Charles is great.
Yeah.
I had to look up how I recognized him. Did you guys?
He's in
Failure to Launch.
Failure to Launch, yeah.
Mhm. He was
like
the little kid. Yeah, and I had to look it up because I couldn't place him. But overall, just fantastically acted and written. I think it's a really
I
really
think,
great show.
Like it appealed to me because like it was basically like a train wreck, and it's just it mixed around sports, which is always great, and it's just like Paul, whatever. I told him, I was like, hey, like you should check this out or whatever, and I went up to his house like the other night, and he just came up to me like and quoted one of his lines, and it's the one when he's doing the podcast show, and he has like an interview like the next day, and it just goes like, all right, guys, who's got cocaine for me? And that looks like a 2-hour bender. You win. Just like he's so casual with all of it, and like isn't it season 2 when him and the old like pitcher do like all the drugs and Viagra or whatever.
Oh yeah,
and then they go back to back on
The pitcher found.
I love where he's trying to narrate it, and he's like, and Jim Brockmire is trying to block out the sounds. Pedro Uribe trying to get one going.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a great show.
What did you hate about Cats?
I don't like. We have like what 42 minutes left in this. I don't think I have enough time.
Maybe you're just
How
not
about you tell us
jellicle
what you
enough.
liked about
I
Cats?
don't know. Okay, so I will say this. Jennifer Hudson's voice is beautiful.
Jellicle.
No shit. So I literally wasn't here last week because I swear to God, this movie gave me a migraine. Like, I'm not even fucking lying. My head hurt so bad after watching this movie that I had to go to bed early. I couldn't be here. So
funny.
No, wow, this was just a train wreck from the get-go. I don't know. I never had a whole lot of hope even for the actual musical. I never saw the appeal or why anybody would want to do that to themselves.
I think like
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
you might have to look this up, but Andrew Lloyd Webber got an obscene amount of money for the rights to it. I think as well to give them to be made into a movie. It's like a lot of money. Like,
I'm sure.
I guess that they just assumed it would just be a huge hit or something.
Well, when
or
you
whatever.
put that many like
Stars.
A-list celebrities in there, you would think, but you can't just put the talent in there and just assume it'll work out. Like you have to have something to give them. You can't just throw them on screen and expect things to work. I mean,
it's quite upsetting.
Like I don't hate Rebel, what's her name?
Wilson.
Yeah, like I don't hate her. I've seen her in other things and I think she's funny. Terrible in this.
I thought she needed more cat puns. I don't think the 6 on screen that you had was enough.
Jesus, like that was awful.
I heard he was neutered. Shut up.
You know, not only like today we have the double Vanessa Kirby special, but you know,
Yeah.
we had Idris Elba and like the two worst things that we watched out of everything. So
he's like the Black Nicolas
I don't
Cage.
know. Like
he just does everything.
He really does.
Yeah, he does. It's a crazy. I don't know.
Say no.
I will say I thought some of the choreography was nice.
That's what I said.
Some of it was like there was shortly after the first song. I think it was when they made it to the graveyard.
Okay.
I can't remember literally the names of anybody because I think I
There's a
blocked out
graveyard
most
in
of
it?
this. I blocked out most of this. But like the main girl, Victoria, and then the first like male cat that like comes to her and is like teaching her. No, the one that's like
I don't even know his name.
I don't either, but you know who I'm talking about. Like he's like teaching her everything about being a Jellicle cat, whatever the fuck that is. But he's teaching her all this stuff, and there's a nice moment where like everybody stops singing, so I don't have to hear that. Yeah. And there's just like a nice moment where the moonlight is hitting them, and they're just dancing, and I can just pretend that they're just humans and not like weird, like crazy cat people that like. I read something about the sizes being really terrible.
It's really weird.
And I did not even, like, just from the get-go, I was like, yeah, none of this fucking makes sense.
Yeah, it's super fucking weird. And then it's like, I was telling him, like, I don't know why certain cats have clothes and other ones don't have clothes or whatever. And then, I mean, like, the Memory song is the only, like, adequate song, I think.
Yeah, like I said, Jennifer Hudson has a beautiful voice. And I think the girl who played Victoria had a really nice voice, too. So like the two of them singing together, I thought was nice. And some of the dancing.
I've heard if you link up Michael Jackson's Thriller with the movie, it works.
So now let's move on and talk about The Crown.
The Crown.
Add this to the stream so everybody can check it out. Let me lower the volume on it. There we go. So The Crown is a show that came out on Netflix in 2017.
I love this scene.
Starring Claire Foy, Matt Smith, Vanessa Kirby, and John Lithgow, more notably. It follows the Windsor family over Queen Elizabeth II, I believe. Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She is the second from her reign from 1948 to the present, because she will never die.
How pissed off would you be? Kind of. It's like, I mean, if you're like,
dude, I'm telling you, when
Prince
you get
Charles
to season
is like
3,
70 something.
okay,
He's like, I'm still not king.
I'm telling you, when you guys get to season 3, like you're gonna feel so much worse for Prince Charles than you do right now.
He's, he's
Allison told me though that like they asked him, like the news asked him, was like, so like, are you gonna just pass the crown off to your son since you're 70? He's like, hell no.
Like he literally, I don't know when it was or whatever, but they asked him in the news, like, would you just abdicate so that William could take over?
I shall never abdicate.
And he literally was just like,
I hear what you say.
I've been training for this shit my entire fucking life. And it's been fucking hell. So no, I'm going to be king.
Also, this was nominated for 13 Emmys. It won 3. It was nominated for 3 Golden Globes. It won 2.
That's this year or this season?
Season 1.
Okay.
Season 1.
John Lithgow won both. He won an Emmy and a Golden Globe.
I think.
And then
very well deserved.
And then it won Best Dramatic Television Series as well.
Mm-hmm.
Watching season 1, wouldn't know really what to expect from the show. I knew it was just about the Windsor family and her becoming queen stuff. And I kind of had like this feeling watching it. It's like, this is a show about rich white people and their white problems, kind of. And I don't know. I kind of felt bad watching. I was like, it's drama, but it's rich people drama.
God. Okay, so
And
I feel as though Allison's very high on it. You are very middling, and I
like
don't
there's
like
episodes
it. So.
like there's episodes I really do like, and some of it's very interesting, but like I couldn't couldn't binge it. There's no way I could sit here and say, "Ooh, I gotta watch the next episode." I gotta watch it. It's like if I'm bored,
I watch like one like a night.
Honestly, I really expected it to be the opposite. I expected Chase to hate it.
Yeah.
And I expected you to be more middle of the road because I know that you typically have more respect for people that are good actors and you can give that more.
Yeah,
so I'll give me this. Okay, so my problem with it has nothing to do with the acting. I think all that is, I mean, I watch it and I get its appeal. I get why it's winning. I'm like, it's very well produced. It's well directed. The scores are done very well. All the acting is done very well. I see how they all feel appropriately cast in terms of like, and everything else. I think that the costuming is great. I just don't care. Like, it's just, because it's like every episode, it feels like it's trumped up drama that really doesn't matter because the idea that there's still a monarchy in the world is so stupid.
But it's not.
And
it's not a.
And they're all terrible people. All of them. They're all awful. Like there's not one good person on the entire show. They're all
what are you talking about?
They're all pieces of shit. They're all egotistical. They're all selfish. They're all entitled. I mean, like, I didn't know who I'm supposed to be rooting for because,
Elizabeth.
like, she's an asshole. Why would I fucking root for her?
Why is she an asshole?
She made her husband bend the knee.
She is the freaking queen, man.
She is selfish from the jump. She hates her sister because she got like a little like attention. She's
jealous. She doesn't hate her sister.
She sent away her fiance because he was getting applause. Like, what a bitch. Like, she is awful. And then it's a lot. It's just like, and then she chose Philip because he was more attractive.
Yeah.
She had a crush on Philip from the time that she was 13.
And where did that get her? In a fucking loveless marriage. Fucking, bitch, you were 13, grow up. It's not about fucking abs.
All right. First of all,
it's all about the looks.
It's not okay. There's so much more to that than you know, which you would know if you continued to watch the show.
Which I won't.
Look at him, Matt Smith.
See, I like Prince Philip.
In this, okay, so guys, podcast you can't see, but it's the shot in when they're in Africa when she's doing this tour for her father who's sick, and you find out basically that the king has died, right?
Yes.
And the entire drama is that she needs to find out first. She needs to find out. It doesn't matter. In no point, it doesn't change anything that's happened.
Matter.
It does not matter. Just let the news go out, and she's in fucking Africa. She'll hear at some point.
How would?
What? It doesn't change.
Like, I know,
she's the
but
queen.
Like,
Or she's
okay,
about to be
no,
queen.
I think it's really important that, like, if your parent dies, like, you should be the first person to know. But you should know before the rest of the world.
It was impossible. There were cell phones back then. She was literally like in like a grass hut in a tree. Like, there's no way that like she's gonna hear about this shit when she's in some country. And then like it just like the whole colonization thing, man. Like, you go there and like half the first season is like Churchill mad that these other cities are trying to like secede basically because the goddamn British rule is fucking terrible. And they're like, we must go there and you must tell them the British fist is around them. And she's like, of course I'll go there. And then she goes and she's just like, you are all our subordinates, and now there's life here, and you guys aren't all disgusting. Hooray, the queen! And it's like, I hate all of that shit. I hate all of it.
If you can get Emmys for podcasting, you're going to get one for impersonating the queen right there.
I'm American, I think, and we won all of them years ago. We got them off our back.
Okay.
We're just like,
calm down, Ron
Alexander
Swanson.
Hamilton.
Okay.
I'm not going to throw away my shot.
You don't get to use Hamilton as an argument here. Okay.
She knows I'm right.
I have always had a fascination with the royal family. This is incredible history. She is not like a reigning monarch. She does not rule. She has no power. She is a figurehead.
I know.
And it is, to me, just really kind of incredible to watch how in that time, in the 50s, when you see, these marriages back in that time, the man was the head of the household and he was responsible for everything and he was in charge. And what he said, that was the rule. And for us to watch this and see how just the fact that, you know, her father died, now everything has been flipped on its head. Her entire world is different.
Yeah.
She had to overcome so much, not just with trying to be the queen of a country now. Her entire marriage has changed. You know, they were very, very happy, and now they're going through some struggles because the dynamic of their relationship has been flipped on its head in a moment.
That they would have always have failed. Like Philip is too selfish. They are
literally still married today in their 90s, and it is not.
They don't believe in divorce. What are you talking about?
Okay, but they didn't back then. Times have changed.
No.
First of all, times have changed.
If they don't want a woman who's darker of complexion to come into they're goddamn well not going to get a fucking divorce. Like, Jesus.
Like Charles did.
Who, Charles?
Yeah, him and Diane got divorced.
I was going to... Okay. I thought
she died, and that was it.
Yeah, I was like, that's a really morose thing to say. I was like, will you get a divorce?
Oh my God, no, they got a divorce. Like, she died, but she died after they were divorced. Like, things change. She has carried the family through these times in a time where nobody even wanted a woman to be in charge of the royal family. And she has brought them up through the times. She's been a little slow to do so.
Bringing them up through the times.
She has been a little slow to do so.
Her hate keeps her going
through some of it.
Is she the most stubborn person alive? She's like, I will not give up the crown.
Hell yeah! Look, she fucking had to be, dude. She literally had old white dudes fucking telling her what to do for decades, and she literally had to hold her own.
She just looks so racist.
I don't know. True story though. Like the first, like, I guess my knowledge of, like, there was a Queen of England is probably the Naked Gun.
Oh, it's funny.
When like she goes to the Angels game and stuff, and like Reggie Jackson's got to kill her or whatever. Like, that's the first. I was like, "There's a Queen of England."
Then there's a whole other episode of the like mom being like, you know, I'm gonna go retire, and she goes to like
about her
to like buy a castle, and like that's the whole drama. It's like, oh, I can't retire because my daughters are stupid. I shall return, and it's like that's the entire episode. I'm just like, who gives a fuck, dude? And then like there's the episode about the fog, and like Churchill's like, it's fucking fog.
It's gonna go away.
It'll go away,
and it did.
and then it did. But
but people were like,
I know,
but it's crazy how.
But it's
like,
I mean, like lots of people died.
I like the. I think episode 9. It's about the painting Churchill does. I thought that was really interesting. Yeah. I thought they were gonna, like, I read about this, and they didn't do it in the show, where like he actually keeps like holding the cigar. And in the show, I think he asked, like, cigar or no cigar? But, like, in real life, like, the painter came in and just snatched the cigar from him. It was like, no, like, because he wouldn't give up his cigar. But they didn't do that in the show.
And then, did you care about the sisters, like, marriage relationship and all that bullshit?
I think the sister's hot.
She's cute in Hobbs and Shaw. She looks awful in this.
Everyone looks awful in this. It's like 50s or whatever.
Oh, she's cute in this.
It just her hair looks so Karen like.
I mean, it's in the 50s, Andrew.
Scarlet Witch didn't look ugly. What are you talking about? She was good to go.
That was a wig, and it was in black and white. So how would you even know?
It looked good because I watched the behind the scenes.
Okay.
Face.
Okay. So, I cared a little bit, but really, she's never the one that I root for. I always root for Elizabeth.
I don't know. I root for her. I'm like, come on, get you some. Like, get with your guy.
Get with your guy, girl.
She does it, though.
The thing is, I mean, it was sad that she didn't get to be with him.
Oh.
But Elizabeth literally, I mean, she really tried everything. And she told her, like, I mean, it's a law. Like, there's literally a law that prevented them from getting married. And Elizabeth tried everything that she could.
But Elizabeth could have said it was okay, though.
No. Elizabeth cannot change the laws.
No, she can give her vote and say, like, it's okay. It said, people think it's okay. I say it's okay. And make the politicians look evil.
But they said that they couldn't do that because it made the family look weak because they're all cool with incest, but not with, like, anything else or whatever because they're terrible. You've watched Farther Ahead. He had said something about there's like the uncle's a Nazi or something. or like was
which one called
the original king who
brother.
David.
Yeah,
King
was like
Edward the
was
7th,
like
I
friends
think.
with Hitler or something.
Yeah, real tight with Hitler.
That's crazy.
They were
Yeah.
fantasy football players and stuff. They were friends like that.
Who's your quarterback?
If you go back and look, there's lots of pictures of the two of them together and stuff.
Playing Yahtzee.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've watched some of the other seasons.
Was it before, after, or during World War II? I mean, I'm assuming it was before.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, there was a lot of like Americans who sympathized with. I mean, like, it's fucking nuts, dude. There was like Nazi sympathizers all over America.
I think they're still here.
Yeah, touche. Up until the war started and stuff, and then we got like involved or whatever. But like, there are politicians here pushing for us to like not get involved because that's their stuff over there. You know, let's not worry about it. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch season 2?
There
or are you
is.
done?
Yeah. He just said he's done. He doesn't care. Yeah. So I think there is an episode that deals with it. I don't remember if it's in the 2nd or the 3rd season or whatever. But there are pictures of him. They, I think, had them classified. They tried to hide the fact that he was a Nazi sympathizer for a while. And then it came out that he was. Like, they found out that he was.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, like, every time that, like, you're supposed to, like, not like somebody, I'm like, well, the other person's... I mean, because, like, they try to push him as, like, a villainous character, but I'm like, I get him being a dick, because his fucking mother was an awful person, and this person sucks, and they're all cruel. Like, they're all terrible people. Like, you know, so I mean, Churchill's a fucking dick. You know, like, you know, he's fucking selfish, and he's, like, beyond fucking narcissistic.
I mean, all politicians are kind of like that.
So it's just like, I mean, like, I just like, and then Philip's a fucking piece of, he's like a fucking piece of garbage.
Like, I don't know, I kind of understand Philip a little bit more than most people.
Hate him,
yeah, like, I mean, he's like, he had a career, got taken away. He was like, hey, can my kids just have my last name? You say it's cool, I say it's cool.
Damn well that was not going to happen.
But he was like, he wanted his wife, the queen, to stand up for it, and she, I can't do that.
The thing is I think
like,
he thought that they had more time. I think he did not expect her dad to die that early into their marriage.
Like, he wasn't ready for like, you know, that life. But he's a fucking drunk. He's always off.
That's all he can do.
Not being a fucking. That's all he can do.
That's all he can do,
He's
man.
like, he's
That's
not
literally all they fucking let him do.
They didn't have Netflix, man.
He's always off. He's incredibly jealous for like no reason or whatever. He's just a fucking piece of garbage. Like if his name was Kyle, I would totally get him. Like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh my god,
Dude, Kyle over here, fucking crushing monsters and like fucking punching drywall. Like, you know,
he did, like, what, at the time, at least in season 1, he doesn't have like a name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't even have a name.
I don't think so.
I mean,
no,
but
like
he doesn't have like a title. So he doesn't have a title.
I think
he was like, hey,
he's a
duke.
I'm going to take up flying. I'm going to be a great flyer. And they're like, yeah, can't do it. He's like, I'm doing it anyway.
Is he
and they're
a
like,
duke?
fine, but don't do
in
any
the first
tricks.
season, I can't remember when he earns the title Duke of Edinburgh.
They call him Duke or whatever in that. So
okay, maybe he got that when they got married. He was named the Duke of Edinburgh, but it wasn't until years later that they gave him the title Prince. He has that title now. He did not for a while.
Okay, you are pro crown. You are pro crown. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
also.
I mean, I kind of want to get to the point where Diane comes in. I want to see how the Queen's relationship with her.
Just watch that season.
Wait.
That's what I might do.
Wait, you want to get to the point where who comes in?
Princess Diana.
I swear he said Diane.
Yes.
Diane from Cheers.
Yes, exactly. I love Shelley Long. Shelley Long was my girl. I'm a Shelley Long fan.
Let us move on to
Hobbs and Shaw.
Oscar award-winning Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw is a film that came out in 2018, I believe.
I believe it.
It's starring The Rock, Jason Statham, Ryan Reynolds is in this, Kevin Hart is in this, Idris Elba,
Vanessa Kirby,
and the Uso brothers, and Roman Reigns is also in this. This movie made over $750 million. I will say I'm glad that the mass majority was
in China. And stuff.
Well, no, it was overseas. So at least it gives me some solace knowing that like a lot of Americans didn't go see this. Bullshit.
I think the budget was $200 million, and it made almost $200 million domestically.
It was like 138, I think here.
No, it was like 190.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
He looked it up. He looked it up earlier today because he tried to quiz me on it.
I don't believe you. I wish I watched this after Cats. So I started watching this, and then I texted you. I think after like 30 minutes, I was like, "Good God, man! Like this is it's so ridiculous." So it opens with
173 domestic.
Gotcha. So we were both wrong.
Okay,
but by Price is Right rules, you were more wrong than me.
I'm closer.
So it starts off with Vanessa Kirby's a part of some kind of team or whatever, and she's breaking in to this place, right?
Yes, to get a virus.
To get this weird virus, and then Idris Elba shows up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm the bad guy," and like he like
That's a great Jason Statham actually.
I don't know. I've only got one English, one Australian.
You sounded just like
Jason. You really did.
He shows up. He says he's the bad guy, and then he begins to like take, and he's part Terminator.
Yeah.
This is what I don't get, right? If you've created this technology,
Why do you need a virus?
why do you need a virus? Why not just sell this insane technology?
Kind of like I always thought, like watching G.I. Joe as a kid and stuff like that. It's like, if you have all this money to have fortresses, all kinds of planes, I mean, this is billions of dollars of like an army. What are you trying to take over, man? You have all the money in the world, and like all these people die. It's like, if you want to be president, you got enough soldiers just to vote for you.
And what's funny is that like you brought up G.I. Joe, and this is the most G.I. Joe movie I've ever seen.
I was like, I kind of wish like they never made a second G.I. Joe, and like at the end of this movie, like they kind of recruit Hobbs to be in G.I. Joe, and they have like a G.I. Joe Fast Furious crossover.
He was in G.I. Joe, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in the second one. That's what I'm saying. If he wasn't, they never made that.
Gotcha.
They could have brought him in and just done a crossover.
So basically, Vanessa Kirby injects herself with this disease, and then she has to go see her brother. But before we get there, we get this really cool scene of watching The Rock and Jason Statham's start their day. And the first thing I thought was, I'm a little bit country, I'm a little bit rock and roll. It's like, one of them's like, it's all about working out and stuff. He's gonna hit the gym, even though Jason Statham's in like amazing shape, but apparently he doesn't work out, but he knows martial arts, and he's got abs. He's like,
I was thinking that. I was like, he's literally like eating omelets, and then he's
making an omelet,
shit,
and
I'm like,
it's so
the
ridiculous.
Rock is like drinking eggs. And stuff.
And then we both get them going to get their jobs.
Their assignments.
One is Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Which is literally all he does.
When is he not Ryan Reynolds?
He's not Ryan Reynolds in the Amityville Horror House, which I'm sure you haven't seen that.
No.
He's not Ryan Reynolds in something else serious that he did. The one where he gets buried alive. He's not that. I think it's just called Buried Alive.
I think it's called Buried.
I think it is just called Buried Alive. I think I know what you're talking about.
And then I think he's in something else kind of serious as well.
You literally can't even come up with names of these things.
Well, I'm on the spot.
Because there's like 8 other things I could come up with.
It's hard,
Every other movie he's himself.
No, I agree. Anything that is a comedy-based film, yes, I agree. He's just he's just himself. But I mean, like so is Kevin Hart, who also is in this and just plays
Kevin Hart. Like when I saw Kevin Hart in this and he was doing the scene stuff, like the whole time I was like, it's Leo Getz. Like we're gonna Lethal Weapon 3. Like in the next one, they're gonna have to protect him somehow. He's gonna be like whatever.
And so basically, we get both of them like teaming up together and everything, and they don't like each other.
Honestly, what do you think of their chemistry? I don't think the chemistry is great. I'm going to say
they
like,
thought that their chemistry was so good when they were doing the Fast and the Furious movies that's why they made this.
They rock.
But see, I don't like him.
Let's go do a movie together.
I don't think any of his movies really are good. I don't think he's a good actor. Jason Statham.
Whoa.
Jason Statham.
Like his acting, I call it 90210 acting.
You love 90210.
I love 90210. That's why I'm an expert on this kind of acting. Where when you be serious, and the way you're serious is, I'm just going to whisper all my lines, and that's how I'm serious. And that's kind of what he does. He's like, hey, I gotta do this. Like you have to like turn up your volume to hear him.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Like I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like that's what he does. He just whispers all his lines. He doesn't talk in a normal voice.
Oh my god. I love that.
We basically find out that
that's
how 90210 is.
He's like, Kelly, I love you. Like that's what, Brenda. I don't know which one to choose. That's Dylan right there. I'm Matthew, or I'm Luke Perry.
So the Rock is the best finder in the world, right?
Yes.
He's 6'4", 395 pounds of pure muscle, but he is the world's best spy apparently, and he easily finds.
He just blends in.
I will say,
easily blends in.
I will say the Fast and the Furious movies did set that up.
Did they?
Yes, because that's why he's in those, because he's trying to track down Vin Diesel in those movies.
I thought he was in it because he could go blow for blow with Vin Diesel.
That sounds dirty. But he's a tracker. The Fast and Furious movie set that up.
Okay, so I think this movie's too long.
Are you watching Fast and the Furious movies in secret?
No.
How do you know this?
Because I went with your brother, who's a huge Fast and Furious fan.
He does not watch those in secret. He watches those live.
Yes, I went to the theaters and watched one of them. I hadn't seen like the last two of them.
Okay.
But the ones with The Rock, the first couple with The Rock, I saw.
I might have gone with you to see that because I watched one of them in
This
a
guy's
theater.
an asshole. Like, I don't know. It's just like it's
Such a good Jason Statham.
yeah, it's really good. It's
So good.
This guy's an asshole.
This guy's an
You do it
asshole.
good.
So basically, the Rock finds her. He tracks her down.
In like a day.
Easily finds her. He's the best tracker. Jason Statham. Then his whole thing is just to come pull a gun on the Rock in this like big facility, and he's gonna get her out of there. Right? But she's been picking her lock. She's like, "Oh, is this your first day here?" And she is beating up a guy in a glass room. And I guess she's going to escape somehow, whatever. It's so fucking silly. What I love is that this sets up that The Rock has super strength, right? And like, we're not talking about it enough. So in that same scene, Idris Elba breaks in. They take her captive. They have these weird catapult machines or like these like harpoon weapons.
Yes.
Structured in the roof. And they shoot down ropes, right? All the bad guys hop on the ropes. The Rock just jumps on this cable that's like
he's
steel,
point breaking it,
and he just rides it down. He rides it all the way down with no gloves. He's like, whatever.
No. He lets go and just falls.
Dude, you couldn't hold it at all. What do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like he just lets go, and like he's like Keanu Reeves jumping out of the plane in Point Break. He's like, they got protection. I'm gonna have to, and he lands on him.
He rides it for like 20 floors.
He lands on him, and then he beats that guy up, and then he jumps from that guy. And just falls and lands on the next guy.
And by beat that guy up, you mean he punches a guy wearing a helmet and knocks him unconscious somehow because he's that strong. Doesn't hurt his hand. Then he jumps off that guy onto another guy, rides him through another building, and then just rolls out.
Was just on an elevator.
Then we get the world's coolest motorcycle. I don't know. I don't understand.
I think that's the MVP of the movie for me.
Yes,
it was the coolest.
It makes the damn transformer noise. It's like,
yeah, they literally put that in. I read the thing, and they did that on purpose.
If that was like
it was
just hearing it or whatever,
it was intentional.
I was like, is that the transformer?
This is what I'm getting. Yeah. This is the most. Okay, so this is like this is my second note. Besides long, what world are they in that there are superheroes and transformable bikes and all types of crazy stuff?
My thing is, it's like kind of what you were saying. Like, if you have this bike, why do you want to destroy the world? This bike is the coolest. Like, he's literally like just running off of a car and jumps, and the bike comes and gets in front of the car, and then he lands on it.
A drone bike technology on it or whatever.
Yeah.
He controls with his wristwatch. It completely flattens out, goes underneath like an 18-wheeler, and he just rides it. At one time, he's apparently sliding, and you guys said that like his bike just like comes like picks him up or whatever.
Yeah, it's the coolest bike ever in a movie.
I don't get why this guy is. This is basically like either like Lex Luthor or Tony Stark is fucking funding this guy or whatever. It's ridiculous. You then get they figure out that they have to go into the base because the only way to save her is there's a very specific, highly technical machine, right? That can help drain
a MacGuffin.
Yeah, a MacGuffin, right? So they go into it and the room and they before they go. They like strap up. They wear like bulletproof outfits. They got like all these guns or all these weapons and stuff. And then they go in these rooms. They get caught immediately, right? They're then being tortured in these chairs. I can't remember Kirby's name in this or whatever, but she's like, Jason Statham's sister.
Yeah. Hattie.
She is able to find the machine. She finds this random doctor who's gonna like help her out or whatever and stuff because whatever. Yeah. And they have to escape. While escaping, The Rock is fighting Idris Elba's character. He's picking up missiles and punching in the face of them. It's absolutely insane. The machine gets broken, right?
Yeah.
This one of a kind machine, right?
Oh, just so we know, they need the machine because the virus is injected.
Yes.
She's got like 36 hours for them to live.
Yes.
So like this machine will get the virus suck the poison out of her virus.
Yes.
So she can still live.
As this machine, which is very one of a kind, very specific, is broken, The Rock's like, I know the best mechanic in the world. He takes this to a car mechanic and he's like, hold on, cuz.
Hey, he does custom
work on these things or whatever. So we then go to Samoa because this is a reason to have.
He has to go home.
The Rock has to get half naked. He has every other wrestler who's involved in his family also in the movie, which is the Usos and Roman Reigns. What I don't get is they take off their bulletproof gear that's like super flexible, super like high-tech gear, whatever, all their stuff.
He said they were going to do it old school.
Old school.
You can wear that and still go old school.
Nah, that's new school, man. That's new school. You gotta go old school.
It's not authentic.
Then all the bad guys had these smart tech weapons that seem really dumb that you can easily hack them from like miles and miles away. So they set up like basically that has to be like a hand-to-hand fight or whatever, right? And if they're trying to get Vanessa Kirby, who is now wearing a backpack machine that's like slowly sucking it out, why is she in the fight in the first place?
Right. Because supposedly, I guess it's because Jason Statham tells her, it's like, hey, if things go bad or something, we're going to run away.
But like, she could have just gone and hung out with his mom, who's not in the fight.
She could have been at the like little Joe's Crab Shack down the street
down the
and
beach.
just eat some crab legs and be like, hey, just come here, pick me up when y'all are done.
So the entire time, I'm like, yo, how is this a Fast and Furious movie? There's no way it's Fast and Furious. And then we finally get that scene.
Oh yeah.
We get a chase with the helicopter. They're in the car, right, driving, and then other cars flow up, and you get the whole like
they attach.
Yes, you get the whole gear shifting down to turbo scene or whatever, right? And then all of them have nitrous, baby.
The helicopter's still like taking off with them, and they're like, hit it. Oh, he says something too. The Rock says like a line,
God,
like
what does he say?
to turn on the nitrous, but I forgot
the juice or something. Whatever, I don't know, but like,
it's so funny.
I was like, finally, now it's Fast and Furious, baby, and like it's
the whole time I'm sitting there like, this is going to make the helicopter blow up.
It's like it's somehow
kill the girl.
It's pulling like 15,000 pounds of torque going against it or whatever. That pilot is amazing. That like he's just like perfectly like fucking drifting the helicopter, and then you finally get the final fight scene.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
Hang on. Because we have to talk about the best part of the car chase scene.
Okay, what was that?
It was Captain America.
Oh yeah, they do. He does. But I give Allison credit.
He does.
So she was like,
he does.
Like, so there's like a chain, and Allison goes, he's going to Captain America this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I was like,
the chain broke,
and he grabs it, and he's like,
he grabs
and
the
then
chain,
pulls it
he
back.
grabs the
He's
truck,
so strong.
and he's literally holding
the helicopter in his hand.
He has super strength, dude.
Yes.
It's insane.
He had to one up Cap because you see him let go of the truck and use both hands to pull the helicopter down so he can latch the chain back on. Because The Rock can pull the helicopter out of the fucking sky.
There's a whole bunch of stuff in this movie that is very unbelievable. I was telling her, I think the part that really got me,
like Kevin Hart ever being an air marshal.
Yeah, but the part that really got to me is like they're trying to attach like the cars to pull the helicopter, and like one guy just grabs two hooks, and like it just the car's like wherever they hook perfectly to the car. I'm like, that is a one in a billion.
That's the most unbelievable thing in this movie.
Roll. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
The third note I wrote down was physics just does not exist in this movie. There's so many scenes where people just do things that you can't actually do. Cars should have flipped and don't flip, or cars do flip and they shouldn't flip or whatever.
It's like one car like blows up and then like it's like this huge explosion, which happens in the movie, but then like the helicopter crashes with like two cars and nothing blows up. Everybody lives through the crash.
It immediately started raining, Chase.
By the way, did you notice that? It's like the whole car chase, it is sunny as can be. Like it is a beautiful day in Samoa.
It's fight time.
And then all of a sudden they crash the helicopter in two of the cars. They fall down like a waterfall thing. Nothing blows up, and then it suddenly is pouring down rain.
Like you can't blame that on the waterfall.
Everything's more intense with rain. Even like in the Zack Snyder cut, it's just raining half the movie. Another moment of The Rock having super strength during the second car chase scene when his bike is like transforming and stuff or whatever. There's another guy on like a bike, right, and he's coming at them doing has to be like 67 miles per hour. The Rock punches the window next to him, holds out his fist, and punches the guy coming at him like at 60 miles per hour. Not only does The Rock not even buckle, he somehow picks up that guy and punches him forward 20 feet into a wall. Like it just doesn't make any sense. The Rock it's Captain America. Like
Yes,
it's incredible. Like the Idris Elba is the Terminator. He's Captain America. It's insane. You go to the end fucking fight scene here, which is all the rain.
The whole time I'm like, Lethal Weapon 4. Okay, let's have it.
I do like that The Rock pointed out why you wearing a fucking coat? It's 110 degrees out there.
Well, it was in response to Jason Statham's line where he was like, "Here's your shirt, it's your favorite size, paint it on."
By the way, so The Rock does have no shirt on, and they're fighting in this battle with all the guys and stuff, and all of a sudden the car chasing starts happening, and he runs over and grabs
his shirt and puts it back on.
I was like, what? They're leaving.
This is imperative.
Yeah.
We need to do this
I
now.
gotta get my shirt, man.
This is Baby Gap shirt.
Yeah.
So I love that they're losing the fight until they realize, well, if I take a punch for you, you can get in a punch, man.
You mean if we work together?
Work together. He literally says, "Work together."
Teamwork. Baby.
It's so ridiculous that apparently out of all the fights that this Terminator version of Idris Elba's been in, nobody's ever tried to team up against him.
Yeah.
It's almost like a one-on-one thing apparently. So yeah,
that's usually how the bad guys attack the good guys. Though. There'll be 5 bad guys. And they're like, okay, you go. Okay, you got knocked out. Okay, now you go. So the good guys figured it out.
My other notes here, physics, the bulletproof clothing, the dumb guns, Nas, we got that. Rock super strength. It's ridiculously funny.
I will say this. I was reading some of the reviews on IMDb, and one of them, I was like, this hits the nail on the head. It said, I wanted to hate this, but I couldn't, because this movie so obviously refuses to take itself seriously that you just have to sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? That's exactly what it is.
It kind of reminds me of, I guess, Aquaman, which is a very Fast and Furious type
Yes.
kind of movie. It's just it's not like anything you're like, oh, God, that's so good. But you just have
But you
fun.
are just having fun the whole time.
Yeah, it's just something fun.
Yeah,
it's
so-
mindless.
Not because it's great, but just because you're laughing at the
Yeah.
ridiculously of the whole thing.
So final verdicts for Hobbs and Shaw.
I don't know. I mean, I give it a 5.
Really? I thought you were going 9, like a 9.5, 9.6.
I give it a 5. I might watch it one more time in
The
my
Rock-
life.
I mean, 4 more times and I'm done. That's probably it.
But it's nothing I'm going to think about ever again. Almost.
It's definitely bad. It's
Yes.
not good. But I feel like if
did its
you're
job.
If I'm rating quality of film, yeah, it's a 2 or a
Yeah.
3. If I'm rating entertainment value,
Yeah.
it's much higher.
Yeah, I'll say I was definitely entertained. These movies are absurd. I haven't watched any past part 5, I think, or whatever. And I think that was the last heist one.
I think I hadn't seen 8 or 9. Oh, 9 hadn't come out yet. I hadn't seen 8.
Yeah.
Maybe 7. I can't remember.
I think if you're
literally lost
hanging
track
out
of
at the
it.
house and you guys are just drinking, having some fun, you need to have something on in the background, just laugh at. This is perfect for that.
This is good for that.
If you want something real to watch, Cats, obviously. So good. So we watch a couple of other things that we didn't really get into that much. We're going to touch on them really, really quick here. What did y'all think of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I feel like Marvel's okay, people complain that there wasn't enough action in what you call it, WandaVision. We'll give them some action.
I'll say as I put this up for everybody on YouTube, the opening sequence
It's really cool.
is pretty damn cool.
I thought it was a great way to highlight, because we've seen Sam do a lot of other things, in some of the Avengers movies and stuff like that. But he's always been a side character or a minor character, so we don't get to see him utilize his flight as much.
Yeah.
It's always just a few quick, he jumps up, does a quick spin or whatever, and hits a guy, and
Kicks a
then
guy
it
or
moves on to
something or
somebody
whatever.
else. Yeah. So it was really nice to see something that is his wheelhouse, completely. This is his shit. He's flying. He's handling this situation. I mean, this is not something that most of the other, this is obviously not Cap or Bucky's area.
It just shows that.
So it's really, I mean, I thought it was really
It
cool.
just kind of shows how dangerous he is still.
Yeah.
And but that he is. It's I'm sure the show with Hawkeye is going to really play to his strengths and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's going to show why he's not just a dude that has a bow, whatever. So Falcon on the outside just looks like a dude who flies around with guns, but this shows how dangerous
He kills 10 people real quick.
he does, yeah. So we then get this scene where Anthony Mackie decides that he doesn't deserve the shield, even though like like if Steve had told him that like it's his and stuff. So he decides to give it to the Smithsonian Museum, who they immediately turn around and give it to like a white version of him, basically, or whatever, which I think is going to be a U.S. agent.
It is.
I don't know who the actor is, but the helmet looks.
We looked it up.
It looks kind of silly, whatever. But I also was saying that's like on purpose. That like
to me, I mean, it looks on purpose.
So,
like if you look at it next to
real quick, that guy is actually the son of one of your favorite actors,
Kurt Russell's son.
Yes.
Yeah, is that Wyatt Russell?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
It's so creepy that you knew that.
Oh, I mean, I just knew that's his favorite actor,
man.
man. He loves Kurt Russell.
Yeah, Wyatt is in Overlord. He plays a soldier in that movie. It's really good. He's not a bad like leading man. He'll get there eventually, whatever. But I don't know. It's so drastically different from WandaVision, which is also kind of my thing with like the like Snyder Cut. Was that WandaVision made you think every episode because it didn't give you so much of the plot, that Falcon Winter Soldier feels more formulaic. It feels more like Marvel stuff or whatever, where it's just like, okay, here you go, that there are bad guys being punched and stuff, whatever. Like I saw people on Twitter like upset about the like Flag Smashers and being like, oh, yeah, this plot is kind of dumb and like I don't get it. So, I mean, dude, it's
episode 1.
It's the first episode, and you heard about it for
like
5 minutes,
like an hour long too, or something. It's close.
It was like
it's close.
50 minutes or so. Yeah. So, but just like people like already complain, like, dude, like. You just saw with WandaVision, like, calm down, watch everything or whatever. And even with this, like we don't know the plot at all yet. I mean, like Sam and like
they hadn't even met
yet or whatever. So I like that he still is dealing with his like in PTSD and stuff or whatever, and that it was almost like him being in talking about Bucky here, almost like him being in Wakanda was like rehab kind of, and now he's having to deal with all of his life. It's the same thing with like an alcoholic having to talk like
steps and stuff.
And like leaving that like, safe haven of like that center and stuff. Now he has to like be by himself and stuff again.
I really loved the whole scene with him and his therapist. I thought that was a really great. Just the whole dynamic between the two of them, and he's fucking hilarious. I love him.
She's like, how old are you? He's like 118 years old or whatever.
So I mean, like I'm hoping that like I'll keep watching it, obviously, whatever. It's Marvel. There's no reason not to at this point. Moving on from that, we had some other stuff, and that was the Zack Snyder cut finally came out after a few years of Zach working on this. Now, we were going to talk about this, but instead we are going to do a whole episode next week because it's a 4-hour epic film, and we might actually have a guest as well. Darren from East Coast Avengers might also be stopping by. He was very interested in talking about it, and he has a lot to say as well. Just quickly, what did you think of it?
I don't want to get into specifics, but one thing I did like is, especially compared to the Whedon, is they took their time, I guess, with the special effects. I think the special effects are so much better in this version compared to the last one. Watch the old one.
Okay,
like Cyborg is awful looking in the other one. I think it's so much better. Like they kind of took their time, and I think it works well. I think Steppenwolf looks better.
Yeah, I see. I'm dumb. I'm with the opposite. I think all the effects look better.
I don't think. Okay, go back and watch the original. Yeah,
it's only like an hour 6 hours though, man.
It's like 2 hours. That one.
It's 2 hours. This is 4 hours. It's like
that movie's special effects are so bad, and I'm really hoping like they took the time and reworked them and stuff. Like all these movies that are coming out lately, like are delayed and stuff. Like Black Widow's been delayed, and all these movies. Like I want all these movies take this time. Like sharpen up the special effects. I do not want to see crappy special effects on movies that have been done, and you've had like an extra year and a half. You could be working and sharpening your skills.
See, okay, so we're just going to move on because I would talk for like 10 minutes about this. Probably. Okay, so next week I would totally talk about like all my gripes, whatever. I do think it's better than the original version.
Yes.
I don't know what that means yet. I'm gonna have to watch it again because a person brought up like a really good point that it was like if the other version didn't exist, would this be good? And it's like I don't know because everybody's saying like everybody is able to compare it to something else worse, so it's easy to be like, oh, this is better than that. So it's incredibly bloated.
It's like how we feel about Hobbs and Shaw versus Cats.
if Cats didn't exist, Hobbs and Shaw would be worse, you think?
Yeah, for us, we watch Cats first.
I think that you could have cut out an hour here.
Yeah, I agree. I think literally Zack Snyder was like, I shot everything
this is all going in.
I'm putting everything in.
There's just so many scenes. I mean, like the Martian Manhunter scene, it ruins
I don't
that
think
entire scene, I think,
actually,
or whatever.
The scene you mean with Lois Lane and
Martha.
See, actually, I was like, when I was watching, I was like, this is a scene that could be cut until Martian Manhunter. I was like, now I understand why.
But I'm like, it's such an emotional moment for Martha and Lois to connect, and they're like, just kidding, it's Martian Manhunter, bitch.
See, I honestly, like, I think that whole could have been cut. You don't have to have them connect, and I think it could have been cut.
Kids don't need anything.
Yeah, I will say, like the Irish West scene, I would have cut that.
Also, I agree. Yeah, would have cut. And what's funny is that, like, we'll get to it next week.
Are so
Yeah,
funny.
we're gonna have to get. There's a lot we can talk about this.
Yeah, we'll talk about it all next week.
There's so much, guys. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at Into Geek. Follow us on Instagram and what's up?
Or you said you were going to talk to me about something someone did something and you hated it or one.
Oh no! So very quickly on the Grammys last week, Bill Burr he got in trouble because he was supposed so basically he wasn't drunk, but so he came out and where he was, that there's like no audience or whatever and stuff or whatever, and he was doing like he was the award giver for like the like Latin Tropical Award or something, whatever, and the person who won, he like didn't say her name correctly, and so he joked like oh my God, why is this cis white male up here doing this? And like talking about like, oh no, man, all the damn feminists are gonna fucking kill me or whatever. And that's exactly what happened. Is all of them started to like attacking. And it's funny because like every time he does something or whatever, he's like, I don't care. I don't fucking care, because you can't cancel somebody who does not give a shit or whatever, and he just doesn't give a shit and everything. It's fucking hysterical. So like everybody got mad, but then like all the comics were saying like it was because one, it was fucking funny, whatever. It was great. But
my thing is, I saw this actually today, made me kind of laugh. So Kylie Jenner,
yes,
yeah, like her makeup artist got into like a really bad car wreck and needs brain surgery and stuff like that.
Jesus.
So she like shared a GoFundMe for this guy for $50,000, what he needs, and she donated $5,000. And everyone's like, "You're worth $1 billion. This is your dude." Like what? Like everyone's just going off on her. It's like, this is literally like you were worth $19,000 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, and you're asking your fans, "Hey, can you hook my makeup artist up?" Like, it's just like, to me, I'm just like it's not her responsibility. It's not. So I understand that. Don't ask people to pay for this for you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Is he her personal artist, or is he just like a freelance guy?
Don't know that. I know he does do makeup for her. It's not just like a friend. Like he has done makeup, or I don't know if it's her personal or not.
Well, I was gonna say, because like if he was her specific one, then he should have like insurance or something. I mean, like I have no more about that. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's her problem. Not, whatever exactly. I mean,
it's not. But I think it's kind of ridiculous to ask the fans to cover it,
especially because it's just it's such a small
drop
amount.
in the it's a
I'm
drop
sure
in the bucket for you. Like
she has a dress worth more than that probably. Or whatever, I mean, like she could do that. She could like auction off clothes or something for it.
Yeah, that people were saying like your pajamas that you retweeted this like are worth more than
it's fucking crazy. Guys, thank you so much for listening this week. Come back next week for the special guest for all the Zack Snyder stuff that I mean, obviously, like Chase and I were ramping up to get into it. It's like that Rocky Creed fight. We're just gonna, and it's been a lot of fun. Then after that, I think we're gonna get back and do the Oscar thing again. Hopefully, round 2, I'll be better. I'm thinking about getting some podcast people also involved in that to see if maybe we can get more buzz going, and maybe we can have more of a challenge, more of more to like a prize maybe or something.
Okay, yeah, we might do that.
Allison, any last words?
Nope. Just follow us on social media, y'all. Same as always, on Twitter at Into Geek, Instagram and Facebook at Into Geek Podcast.
Yeah, do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Until next time.
See ya.
Bye.